In the grim Victorian-inspired setting of New Blood Interactive's Gloomwood, your general experience is best described by the merchant that starts you off on your journey.
You have many enemies here. The darkness will shroud you from them.
Taking after games like Thief, Gloomwood is a first-person immersive sim where stealth takes precedence above all else. If you're adept enough to furtively creep between the countless umbral recesses of the game's environments, Gloomwood effectively becomes your oyster. So, for those players such as myself that have learned the game in and out, it's only natural to seek out ways to spice things up, and I imagine that you can see where I'm going with this. Today, I'll be trying my best to beat Gloomwood, specifically its older 2020 demo, completely stealthless. It's pretty important to stay upfront when I'm defining as stealth, since that's fairly broad, so I'm going to be considering stealth as any utilization of the sneak or crouch keys. This means ducking into shadowy corners is a-okay, as well as leaning out from hiding spots, getting myself into areas where enemies can't hit me, and even tap walking in order to minimize noise. If it doesn't involve me pressing shift or control, then I'm allowed to do it. Now, I want to immediately make it clear that this challenge is almost certainly possible. Save for some specific areas that necessitate crouching to traverse, which we'll broach when we get there, Gloomwood does very little in the way of forcing a specific playstyle upon the player as per its sim design philosophy. With that in mind, this playthrough is mostly going to cover my experience as I try to complete the game with this self-imposed challenge and the ways in which my particular playthrough pans out. With all that blabbering out of the way, we can finally get started. I'm also going to be playing on Blood Moon difficulty. It shouldn't really matter, it's just the way I typically play the game. Welcome to the Gloomwood demo, this old thing. I'll read this note since it's important. Doctor, apologies that I could not encounter you in person. For now, take this vial and find your way into the manor on the main street. I await your arrival. G. I'm not going to lie, I'm very, very familiar with this demo. So I'm going to try and not blast through everything on purpose, but I imagine that I am not going to struggle much throughout this. But we're actually immediately going to turn around. Normally you would progress onto there, but since we're playing on Blood Moon, every piece of ammo counts. Everything you can get your hands on. Very, very important. And right here at the beginning is actually a window that you can break. If you jump down here, here's a door. And in here, you can get some ammo. Also, coins. The way that coins work in this game is that they don't really matter unless you can get all of them. And unfortunately, we cannot get all of them because of this. In here, you crouch and you go through there. There's a wheel of cheese right there, and then down there, a bullet and a coin. You, to my knowledge, cannot get down here unless if you crouch. So, we can't get every coin, but I'm still going to collect every coin. It's not really going to matter. It's just something I'm going to passively do. Allow me to do a bit more over-explaining. This is the phonograph where you save. But the problem is that immediately after this is this. You can't break this. And the only way through here is to crouch, which we can't do because crouching is considered stealth. So the only way to possibly get past this is to jump from over here onto and then down from this little gate wall thing. Doesn't this kind of look like a face? I've got no idea if there's going to be an invisible wall here, so this might actually be impossible. Can I jump on this lip? Okay. Oh, okay. That was simple. Now I need to make my way down here. There's a guy right here, so I'm gonna actually... Okay. The game has not introduced it yet, so I'll just go in and tell you. The way that the cane sword works is you charge it up, and if you stab an unaware enemy, they die immediately. There's actually a coin over here. Okay, but we are currently in a place we are not supposed to be. Normally, you would go through that little crouch spot, go through some building here, and then you would come out and be on this street. But we are guarded by a gate. So we have to try and stack our way over it. I do know that this is possible, mainly because I've done it before. Yeah. And for those of you wondering what the main objective of this demo is, right there is where we are trying to get to. There are two things called emblems, basically just MacGuffins. Put them into each slot, that door unlocks, and through there is the end of the demo. Right here... Uh-oh. Fuck. We're gonna have to fight this dude. So the green ones are called woodsmen. There's gonna be a lot of explaining in this video, I apologize. And they are fair... Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. There's more. This is bad. This is not how I was expecting this to go. The woodsmen are fairly easy to take in combat. I mean, oh shit! The red ones are called huntsmen, and they have rifles that can two-shot the player. Very, very dangerous. And I am now being pursued by one. Okay, well those two woodsmen that just ran out after us came from right here. This is where you're actually normally supposed to go through. You can see the phonograph and hear it right here. There's a coin in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But it's actually nice that they came through, because that means we can now come in here and grab this, which is more ammo and cheese, which is basically just a way to heal, which is very useful. I hope that that huntsman that came out has gone back to where it was. It has. Okay, you can see its hat bobbing right there. I need to actually wait for this woodsman to turn around before I can move. Need to grab this key. Open this door. To open this locker. To grab shotgun, which is going to be very useful for later. This entire video is going to be me over-explaining everything. So... Fuck. Okay, that's actually really bad. Because that probably alerted the others. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm lucky. Nope. Okay, you can see it's kind of looking around. Yep, this is bad. Fuck it. Okay. Okay. Well, I've accidentally lured out pretty much every single enemy. So now I can come in here fairly safely and do this. Can I open doors while I'm charged? You can. Okay. Now I'm safe. Read this. Basically just says where the seals are. But flipping those two opens this gate, which we were stuck behind before, and that gate right there. Now at this point, you have basically two areas you can pick to go to. To get to a save point between these two, this area is probably safer, but it's also way longer. Whereas this area is way shorter, but way easier to mess up and die in. I'm going to do this way though for the sake of ease, I guess. If you come right here, there's a little switch that opens this. This actually connects back to the place we went in earlier that has the cheese, the bullets, and then the phonograph right there. But we still unfortunately can't save. Monocle and then bullet coin. Need to try and stab this guy. I don't know how this is gonna play out. I think they've gone back to their positions. If I see a huntsman walk by there, I'll go. Okay, go time. Shit. I'm just gonna stand here and see what happens. I'm actually very scared. There's a coin though. Yeah, it's coming through there. Okay. Okay. There's only one more huntsman in here now. And it's through this door, actually. I'm gonna grab this bullet first. And this key. That's the huntsman right there that we're worried about. That key I just grabbed unlocks this door, which leads back around to the phonograph. So we can actually save now. So you take a bit of a breath. Now I can relax. Now I don't need to freak out about every single decision. Okay, we're good. Dun, dun, dun. Walk through here, coin in here. And this is the first emblem. More ammo. And now we can come up here and pop this emblem in. Bam. That's number 1. I'm going to go save before we start the second portion of the demo. Okay, like I said earlier, this area is technically safer to do, but is also longer. Okay. Jump through here. This huntsman is gonna walk back in here and then right there. Okay, that's a bit further than I thought it was gonna be. But I need to stop charging that. Ah, shit. Okay, I can at least get this guy though. Although now this guy's gonna spot that. Where? Holy shit. Okay. And now this guy is very easy to deal with. There we go. All stress is disappearing. This note basically says that one of these bags contains a coin. I think it's this one though. Yes. I'm fairly certain that going through here and doing this thing does not matter for our purposes. I think the only thing you get for doing this little area is a coin, but we're doing coins anyway, so. Normally it's a bit scary, I thought I was gonna get spotted, but you can jump right here and it literally cannot reach you, so. Zero risk. Okay. This is a bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. All I need to do here is kill that huntsman. The second I kill that huntsman, I can take on the woodsman in combat. Okay, yeah, we're good. Didn't even need to. Just too good. There's a coin down here. There's also a coin over here, but it's very easy to grab. Okay. There, got it. That was embarrassing. We're gonna take the lantern even though we are not going to be using it for reasons you will see in a minute. This is something I did not know until very recently, but you can actually pick up this dude's shotgun for another bullet, which is very useful. Also, there are going to be a ton of noises during this part. They are all completely harmless. They are solely there to mess with you. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip this lever and run, but see that? Luckily, these things don't hear too well, so it's not like a massive problem. This is also where the AI is going to make it very clear that it's not the brightest. Because uh-oh. Oh shit, this is bad actually. Okay. Normally you could just like start sneaking and crouching to move out of the way, but I do not want to risk tapping out of the way. So I'm just gonna shoot it. Okay, and now you should start coming. Okay, never mind. Apparently it cannot hear. If we could crouch, then we could come through here, and I'll have like footage to show you what I'm talking about. There's a little lever in there that you can flip, and if you go back up to the upper portion of the docks, a gate is now opened, and through that entrance, you can get 10 shotgun rounds, which is more than you will ever need for the demo. It's very, very good. Unfortunately, we can't crouch, so that is completely useless for us. Come in here, put that on, and flip it. Now we're going to save again. And we are now at that point where if we had coins, all the coins, then this would matter, because down here is a secret entrance to, I can just show you this, it's not really going to waste any time. A secret entrance, and if you go all the way through it, you end up here at the coin slot. But since we don't have all of the coins, we can't open it. We are precisely 1 coin short. If we had 1 more coin, then this would open. And inside of here, honestly, I'm surprised that they locked this behind getting all of the coins in the demo, is a save point and some ammo. A save point would actually be really useful, considering its proximity to the next room and how difficult the next room can be. But it's whatever. And this is where we are going to stop using the lantern, because everything is dark. So You can call it cheaty all you want. I don't consider this cheaty because you can technically do this if your eyes are good enough. But yeah, the game's not going to look great, but this is for the sake of everyone's visibility and also just ease. If you can't tell, this is a very cramped section that's very difficult to navigate normally. You can theoretically do this completely... What the fuck? That actually really scared me, I'm not gonna lie. I did not remember that thing. No. No. You're kidding me. Dude. Fucking... This is unreal. Okay. Well, as I was saying before, you can theoretically do this section stealthless if you are patient enough. Oh, thank God. It moved. Oh, I thought it was going to force us into bolting. We're not going to do this entirely stealthless. In fact, despite the fact that we do not have the ammo to kill all of these crow beggars, we are still going to do it with a bit of cheese. So, right now, move up here. We're going to wait for this crow beggar. Okay, this crow beggar is going to walk through there and then stand right there. We're going to wait for it to come back around this way, and then we're going to bolt over there. Okay, it's coming back. Walk on through. And now is go time. And if you jump up here, you are now completely safe. As you can see, they can't get you. And this is a lot easier than trying to stealth your way through or anything like that. Is that all of them? I don't think it is. Yep. And that's all of them. Now we are safe to pick up the second emblem and come over here. Wait, what's that? Oh, I thought that was an item I'd never noticed before. This is just the shotgun round that I fired. Even if we did do this completely stealthless, we would have to be very quick in making our escape because of the alarm. And that is that entire section done now. Fun fact actually about the demo. Oh wait, let me turn this back down to normal. Oh wow, look, the game doesn't look terrible anymore. Something interesting about the demo actually is that this emblem, the emblem of the crow, is no longer in the main game actually. This got replaced by the seal of the Underport, which has a fish instead of a crow, which I just think is interesting. And that's it. That's the entire demo beaten without sneaking or without crouching.
Inside at last, are ya? Welcome.
There it is. Thank you for playing Gloomwood. Explore the early access games soon. Add to wishlist on GOG. www.noobblid.com. That's the game. So I'm probably not going to start a playthrough of the main game stealthless for a while. I want to let it get a bit further along in early access before I do that. but I thought the demo would be a fun thing to tackle in the meantime. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time I explore the haze-covered city of Gloomwood. Have a good one.
Hey, who are you?